Can you hear me? Yes. Hello, everybody. My name is Stefania Malacrida. Today is the Christian tradition. In the Christian tradition, it is All Souls Day, also known as the commemoration of all the faithful departed, Dia de los Muertos, the festive Mexican Day of the Dead, and the much more somber Italian Il Giorno dei Morti. Italy is my home country, which you will learn about in today's sermon. So I would invite you to just take some time today to remember those loved ones who have passed and enjoy this most significant of celebrations. The sermon is written under the guidance of Reverend Rachel and her sermon writing class. Thank you.
Hello, and welcome. It's so nice to see almost a full house. And Zoom. I'm not sure how many are on Zoom, but welcome to you too. I want to especially welcome those of you who are here for the first time or new. I would encourage you to ask questions of anyone else in the church who our board members have special notes on their name tags. Feel free to help yourself to pamphlets in the foyer on the back wall and ask plenty of questions. As Unitarian Universalists, we share many values, and we also come to the table with our differences. We are challenged to do our own looking for what matters to us most, and what we think matters to other people, and to all creatures, and to the world, the environment, and then say what it is that we care about. And from those questions and answers, we come together in community. Here you're invited to bring your full identity, your joys, your sorrows, and your openness to what is around you into community each week. Please don't hide or erase any part of who you are. This is what makes us whole. And now we have several announcements from Reverend Rachel and Brianna Wurtsmith.
Glad you're all with us today. Today is a day for specialty classes. We need a microphone adjustment. Okay. Yep. Okay. Today is the day for specialty classes. Our 1st through 6th graders will be gathering in room 9 after the story, and we'll be divided up to do sidewalk chalk, candy houses, and make some items that we will sell at the bazaar in a few weeks. Next Saturday is our 2nd Saturday potluck and programs day for November. So the way this works is there's things in the morning, potluck lunch, things in the afternoon. In the morning, there's some bazaar prep tasks that you might hear about in a minute. There's an information session about the congregational meeting we will be having next week at 11. So that will be here in the Commons or on Zoom. Please attend to learn more and bring your questions. We're not planning a big presentation, so hopefully you will have questions. That's at 11 a.m. next Saturday. There's a potluck at noon. And at 1 p.m., we'll have our first Inquirers class of this church year. So this is our class especially for people who are newer to the church and want to learn more, but open to anyone, because even if you've been here for a while, there are certainly things that you might have missed. So this class we'll be telling our stories. So we'll be sharing some of our own spiritual journeys and learning more about the history of People's Church and Unitarian Universalism. It will last about 2 hours. So all are welcome. Childcare is available with advance notice. So that is at 1 p.m. next Saturday. And you can come to the church for as much or as little as you want. Coming here just to eat is allowed. Next Sunday, we'll be having a bit of a strange service because we'll be including a congregational meeting in the midst of the Sunday service. won't be the whole thing. It'll be just a portion of what we do together. So the congregational meeting is about, is making the decision on whether we purchase the solar panels that are already on the roof of the building. And there's more information in the newsletter and weekly emails about all the details and history of how we came to this moment. So this is a bit of an experiment to do this service like this. Church members, please, if you can, attend in person or on Zoom. And remember that our voting on the final question does not happen live in the service. To make the voting as accessible as possible, we'll be voting over the course of 2 weeks, in electronic and by mail. So everyone, to make it as easy for people to participate, need not be present to vote. Also next Sunday, we'll be having a special collection of food to support Loaves and Fishes, the leading distributor of food aid in Kalamazoo County. So we know that I had a whole thing about SNAP food aid, but now that everything seems to be changing by the minute with court orders and whatnot. But we know that the ongoing funding of SNAP, AKA bridge cards, AKA food stamps, is uncertain at this moment. The government has been ordered to restore funding, but that hasn't actually happened yet, and we'll see what happens. And regardless, we know that hunger is an issue in our community. So this is a good time to be generous if you're someone who has enough. So if you are able, please bring non-perishable, non-expired food with you to church next week. We'll fill up Rick Johnson's truck in the front parking lot, and we'll have a collection station at the back door if people come in that way. And he will drive off after the service on Sunday and get the food into where it needs to go. And if you're someone who in this time needs extra support, please talk to me. I can help you navigate the complicated resources in our community, and our church has funding to help people through hard times. And here's Brianna with the bazaar announcement for this week.
Good morning. So I am Brianna Wordsmith, and I am here to share a message about the Holiday Bazaar. There are only 20 days left before this year's Fine Art Sale and Holiday Bazaar, and we need your help to promote the event in the broader community. So there are 3 ways you can do that. Number 1, invite your friends. Share the Facebook event and click that button to mark yourself as either interested or going. So that way your friends see, oh my gosh, this person I think is amazing is going, I should go too. Share our digital flyer on your social media and text a reminder to your friends who say they're interested so they don't forget about it. We also have stacks of flyers on the table in the foyer and postcards, so please take some to share with those you know. Number 2, display a yard sign. Due to your generous donations, we now have around 80 yard signs to place throughout the community. Get creative about placing the signs. If you don't have a space to display one, can you think of a friend, a neighbor, or a favorite business owner who might be willing to post one on their property? If you live on a busy road, can you convince your next door neighbors to post one on their property? Because if you live on a busy road, 3 signs on a row in neighboring spaces really catches the eye. So sign out 1 or a few signs at the table in the foyer after the service, and then display them the week leading up to the bazaar, because they don't have dates on them. So you can post them Saturday night and then have them through the following Saturday, the day of the bazaar. Number 3, join Rick's Riders. We still need a few more folks who are available during the day on this coming Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday to carpool to businesses around town to ask people if they're willing to display our posters or hand out our flyers. So 3 things: invite your friends, display a yard sign, and join Rick's Riders. It's a lot of fun, I'm told. Running the bazaar is a huge undertaking with many roles to fill, and it works because we do it together. Please check out all the sign-up opportunities on the table in the foyer. Reverend Rachel did mention something going on next week during the Saturday stuff, and I believe that is putting together the bean soup that we will be selling. And so, you know, there are lots of different ways you can contribute, whether you enjoy baking things or just assembling soup, or if you want to staff a table. There are lots of opportunities, and there's sign-up sheets for each of those opportunities out in the foyer. So please, after the service, take a look at that. If you have questions, a couple of us will be there to answer those questions. There is no amount of help too small to be useful, so please consider helping out and find something that interests you. Thank you very much.
Good morning. I invite you to rise and body your spirit to sing our opening song together. There are the words. There's 3 parts to this piece. I'm going to teach you the first, and that's going to be your part, and then I'll do the other parts. That one again. Keep singing that part.
I would like to invite Aurora up to help us light the chalice, please. So I'm going to take this and just put it in the flame until the candle. Oops, no. We'll get this. I'm going to light your candle from this. Hold out your candle. Good job. Good job. Well done. In the lighting of this sacred chalice, let us remind ourselves of the importance of those who have come before us and passed, leaving us with a better world than they themselves inhabited. If our Zoom participants would write in the chat box where you are lighting a chalice, that would help us, and our Zoom Master John will announce that.
We have chalices lit in Illinois, in Parkview Hills, at North Lake in Gobles, in Parkview Hills again, in Richland Township, and on the north side.
I'd love to invite anybody up for a Now it's on. I'm going to tell you a story from Madagascar, which is an island off the coast of Africa. And it started a really long time ago when God was creating the first humans, and he said to the humans, how do you want to die? Do you want to die like the moon, or do you want to die like a banana tree? And the people said, what are you talking about? What does it mean to die? What does it mean to die like the moon? And what does it mean to die like a banana tree? And God said, well, let me tell you, the moon dies every month. It's up in the sky and it gets smaller and smaller and smaller until it dies, and then it is reborn, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger until it's full, and then it gets smaller and smaller and smaller until it dies, and it's reborn again over and over and over again. Huh. Well, that sounds really nice. I don't think I like the idea of getting smaller and smaller and smaller, but I really like the idea of being reborn over and over again. What does it mean to die like a banana tree? Well, a banana tree, poison apple. I hope we don't have poison apples in our banana trees. Banana trees actually die, but before they die, they send out shoots to create new banana trees. So before they die, they create new life. So if the humans wanted to die like a banana tree, they would have children who would have more children, and then eventually they would die, but their children would live on. Or if they were to die like the moon, they would get smaller and smaller and then be reborn and live indefinitely, but be the same humans, right? The same humans forever and ever, which might get kind of lonely and boring to only have the same humans forever and ever. They just didn't know what to do. This was a quandary. If someone was to ask you, would you rather die like the moon or a banana tree, what would you say? Neither. Banana tree. So tell me why you would want to die like the banana tree. You want to do the moon, why?
I don't want to die.
Okay, all right. Herschel wants to keep living. What do you think, Catherine?
I think I want to die like a banana tree because then if you die like a moon, it's just always the same people. And if you don't have friends with those people, then, well, it's going to be the same people. So you can't make new friends.
Right?
Because there's no one new.
There's no one new.
And
What do you?
Get boring.
It would get boring. What do you think, Ren? Neither. And very bad? Don't want to be a moon or a banana tree. Anybody else? Ollie, what do you think? You don't want to die?
No. I would want to die.
Oh, you don't want the moon to die? Or Mars? Yeah. You would do the banana tree, why? So there would be new life. Well, you know what? Those people spent a long time trying to think about it and weigh all the pros and cons, because this is a pretty tough choice, isn't it? And they, in the end, chose the banana tree. And so as they were able to have children who had more children, who brought them so much joy and laughter and love, except when they didn't and they were aggravating. But overall, they decided it was worth it to be able to have all that joy. And then when they got really old, they died. But it made room for new life to grow, like the banana tree. And that is our story from Madagascar. So let's go to our specialty classes.
People's people are a generous lot, as evidenced by so many examples, not the least of which is the creation of our, I believe it's known as our Ministers Fund, which is available to anyone who has a deep need for rent, food, medicine, etc. We've used this fund in the past to help people find housing and procure food, for example. So I would ask you to please give what you are able to this morning. And now the baskets shall be passed. Please join me in giving thanks for all that sustains us. From the countless gifts we each have been given, gifts of life and love and sustenance, we bring these small portions to share in the works of love, which none of us can accomplish alone. It is our tradition in Unitarian Universalism to share not only our joys and personal celebrations with each other, but also our sorrows and challenges. I would invite you, if you wish, to share such thoughts or feelings, to please come up, briefly share your joys or sorrows, then drop a meaningful stone into the water. For those attending via Zoom, please share by writing in the Zoom chat, and our Zoom Master John will share those.
May I be
Our first reading this morning is Do Not Stand by My Grave by Claire Harner. Do not stand by my grave and weep. I am not there. I do not sleep. I am the thousand winds that blow. I am the diamond glints in snow. I am the sunlight on ripened grain. I am the gentle autumn rain. As you awake with morning's hush, I am the swift upflinging rush of quiet birds in circling flight. I am the day transcending night. Do not stand by my grave and cry. I am not there. I did not die. And our second reading is from Harriet Beecher Stowe. Little is from Little Foxes. The bitterest tears shed over graves are for words left unsaid and deeds left undone. She never knew how I loved her. He never knew what he was to me. I always meant to make more of our friendship. I did not know what he was till he was gone. Such words are the poisoned arrows which cruel death shoots backwards at us from the door of the sepulchre. How much more we might make of our family life, of our friendships, if every secret thought of love blossomed into a deed.
And this is our third reading from There's Gold in This Strange Time by Hermes Ronchi. I smell the scent of the earth. I'd never felt it before so strongly in my nostrils. With every 4 inches of depth, the earth smell changes. It is sweeter higher up, and deeper down it's minerally and acidic. I often discover red, yellow, and orange roots beneath my spade, still moist, long fingers caressing from the world below the sloping mountainsides. Although the tree's trunk was cut down years ago, the roots live, they work, they collect water and generate sap. They haven't given up, they haven't rotted. Rebellious against death, the roots remain ready for life. They remain themselves, accepting the darkness and meanwhile always dreaming of life. The time of the root is longer than the time of the trunk. Just as in a person, the time of love is longer than the time of life.
Final reading is taken from The Republic by Plato, and it is the myth of I will tell you the tale of a hero. His name was a soldier slain in battle. After a few days, as he was lying on his funeral pyre, he returned to life and told everybody what he had seen in the other world. He said that when his soul left his body, he went on a journey with a great company of other souls, and that they arrived at a mysterious place similar to a meadow. There came a prophet who arranged souls in order. Then he conjured samples of lives, and having mounted a high pulpit, spoke as follows: Mortal souls, behold a new cycle of life and mortality. Your destiny will not be allotted to you, but you will choose your destiny. The prophet placed on the ground before and other souls the samples of lives, and there were all sorts. There were lives of every animal and of humans in every condition. And there were tyrannies among them, some lasting out the tyrants' lives, others which broke off in the middle and came to an end in poverty and exile and beggary. There were lives of famous men, famous for their form and beauty, as well as for their strength and success in games, or again for their birth and the qualities of their ancestors. And some who were the reverse of famous for the opposite qualities, and of women likewise. Heard the prophets say, even for the last comer, if they choose wisely and will live diligently, there is appointed a happy and not undesirable existence. Let not them who choose first be careless, and let not the last despair.
I don't belong
In our backyard, there was once a tree. It had been a beautiful dogwood, but for reasons we didn't fully understand, it had died and stood there lifeless for months, with its dry leaves and skeletal trunk. The sight of it was pretty sad. So one day, the three of us, my husband, my daughter, and I, decided to spend the afternoon outside and remove the dogwood. Our daughter, Aurora, was very excited to watch the tree falling like she had seen many times on TV shows about beavers. It took time and effort because we didn't have a chainsaw. Although we should have known better, it was not the first time we had to clean up our backyard without a power saw. But we, people from the big city, Milan, Italy, unfamiliar with maintaining a lawn full of trees, hadn't purchased one yet. So we were busy around this tree that afternoon, hoping to knock it down, cutting with hand saws and pushing, without accomplishing much for a while. At some point, our daughter asked, "Can I go inside?" Critiquing this way our inglorious gardening adventure. Right then, the tree came down, finally, fortunately, saving a little bit of our honor. It was fun to see the tree fall. The cut trunk revealed its concentric circles, which Aurora counted, 10. To our surprise, we also saw a few tiny leaves growing around the stump. So the dogwood was not dead after all. It was beautiful to see. I had read once in a book a passage about the secret life of roots. The time of the roots, it said, is longer than the time of the tree, and the time of love is longer than the time of life. A lovely image that I shared with my family. That night, in the intimacy of her bedroom, my daughter asked questions. "Mom, when I am a mother, will you be a grandma?" "Yes, I will," I responded, delighted. "When you are a mom, I will be a grandma." "And when I am a grandma," she said, "what will you be?" "I will be a great grandma." "And Mom," she continued, "when I am a great grandma, what will you be?" This back and forth went on for a while, like the lines of those repetitive nursery rhymes that kids love so much. Until she got to the real question. "Mom, yes, you will be a great-great-great-great-great-grandmother, but will you go at some point into another dimension?" Going into another dimension is our family code for dying. We also use the term to die. "Well, yes," I said briskly, "we will all have to go at some point into another dimension, and we will all be there together." This answer didn't deter her, though. Her expression turned worried, and she commented, "Yes, we will all go, but it is too bad that you will have to go sooner than I." I downplayed, "Sure, I will go sooner, but it won't happen for a long, long time when we are very, very old, nothing to worry about." A tight hug, a smile, a change of topic, and that was enough for the moment to reassure her and go to bed peacefully. Only once I had lied to her, I admitted, "I'll never die." But I know this is not a good strategy. Children ask difficult questions. My daughter, now 6.5, she would clarify, she already understands a painful truth I cannot protect her from. At some point in life, we will lose those we love. You might call it going into another dimension, but we all die, she gets it, and there is no way back. She started asking questions about death at around 3, when our family dog passed away. It motivated me to figure out what I truly believe so that I could give her an honest answer. That's when I came up with the expression going into another dimension. I like it. It's gentle for kids and adults, and in my view, even accurate. We all know that when people pass away, our love for them continues. I think the reverse is also true. Their love for us is still present. The most significant people the ones who shaped our lives, are still there in the backdrop of our existence with their discreet presence, whispering to us. And we imagine them exactly as they appeared in life, with their clothes, their peculiar facial expressions and mannerisms. November 2nd, All Souls' Day, is the day dedicated to honoring the deceased loved ones. It's a day of remembrance observed in Christian communities and countries all over the world. A popular version of it in the Americas is El Día de los Muertos, the Mexican Day of the Dead, with all its colorful depictions of skulls and skeletons happily dancing and visiting the living. In Italy, my home country, largely Catholic, it is called the Day of the Dead as well, Il Giorno dei Morti, but it is very different from the joyful exuberance of the Latino equivalent, and also very different from the Gothic cheerfulness of Halloween. In Italy, it is a quiet festivity, somber and private. We go to the cemeteries and visit the tombs. We take care of them, we change the flowers, and clean the pictures of the departed. Now, the pictures are not a marginal detail. Evidently, a physical object representing the deceased ones is important, and it is rooted in tradition as far back as ancient Rome. The ancient Romans had statues of their ancestors in the house, called lares. The statues stood on a private altar, part of the domestic worship. Now we have photographs hanging at the walls. Those photos or portraits exude a special energy, creating almost a sacred atmosphere around them. They could be in a dedicated space of the house, a hallway, or a piece of furniture in the living room, or a nightstand, or the nightstand of a hospital, a wallet, the backpack of a homeless person in a dorm. There are many kinds of homes. And where home is, there are usually pictures of the departed. We meet their eyes randomly passing by during our days. On the Day of the Dead, we intentionally stop in front of them and reflect. They trigger memories, including some we believe we had lost, and associations of thoughts. The ritual brings us deeper into our past and identity, connecting us with a time bigger than our individual existence, the time of love, which is longer than the time of life. And this is where, in my view, the Day of the Dead merges with Unitarian Universalist values. I have a personal interpretation of the UU formula of giving thanks. You know, we give these small portions to the works of love, which none of us can accomplish alone. To me, the people we have loved and lost are portions of love. They are centers of spiritual energy with all the emotions, thoughts, and memories that were and are unique to them. And there is nothing wrong with attributing to those portions of love the specific appearance that they had in life. For instance, when I think about my grandma, her name was Fausta, a very important figure in my life, passed away when I was 20. When I think of her, I was saying, I visualize her exactly the way she was. Her flower pattern dress, sewn from scratch by herself, her white hair, her delicate skin softened by age. I guess she hadn't always had white hair and softened skin, but that's how I remember her. And when she comes up in my mind, in particular moments when I do the things we have done together, I feel her presence. Yes, it's poetic license to imagine that our dead loved one continue being around like benevolent ghosts, but not so far from the truth. Now, I don't want to make it too fairy tale-like. There is grief involved and pain. We miss those we have lost. On some bad days, it hurts more than others to let them go. Also, relationships are complicated. Not just love is involved, but other feelings too. Misunderstandings and disappointments and regret. The regret of missed opportunities. As Harriet Beecher Stowe said, the bitterest tears shed over graves are for words left undone and deeds left for words that are left unsaid and deeds left undone. Sorry. Well, the Day of the Dead represents the opportunity to make peace with our deceased loved ones, so much so that we offer them cookies. John, could you please show the cookies? They are there, and they are there too. In Italy, the cookies are called bones of the dead. It's a traditional recipe based on leftovers. Everything is mixed up with cocoa and spices. They are dark because of the cocoa, and some powdered sugar on top gives the idea of white bones. The bones of the dead are very popular during this season of the year. You find them in every Italian bakery and grocery store. And of course, they can be homemade. When I was a child, the center of this festivity was my grandma's house, Grandma Fausta. She would prepare the cookies wearing her flower pattern dress, one of the many. We children would help out. Actually, I didn't help so much. I was far more interested in eating the confections rather than making them. And then everybody else would arrive at the house, the whole extended family with cousins and aunts and uncles. The adults had their conversations at the table, and we kids would play on the floor with cubes or other toys. Some of them made my grandma. Tiny dolls made of corn husks with their hand-sewn little dresses. You can see 2 examples in the slide, still kept safe in the family. In the corner of the living room, there was a domestic altar set up by Grandma. Many pictures of her deceased loved ones displayed in a semicircle with candles in the middle. My grandma was deeply religious and a little bit rigid. Since she died, I haven't seen a similar altar anywhere in my extended family. But the cookies survived. So now that I am the one who bakes them, I remember the crowded house, the loud voices of the adults, powerful laughters, some clashes, hands reaching out to give us the cookies. I remember very well the pattern of the tiles of that living room floor that does not exist anymore. And of course, I remember my grandmother, my Nonna Fausta. She and I were very close, not just during childhood, but also when I was a teenager. In hindsight, I understand what a gift it was to have a close grandparent during adolescence. When I was in high school, I would visit her almost every day. We had our rituals and habits. She would prepare tea with some homemade pastries, of course, always available in her house. She would lay everything on a tiny makeshift table, switch on the TV, and we would hang out for hours. My grandmother, as I said, was very religious, rigid, Catholic. Weirdly enough, her daily appointment on TV was with an American soap opera, The Guiding Light. Obviously, it had an Italian title and voiceover. It was the 1980s and 1990s, and The Guiding Light was popular in Italy. Josh and Riva were the protagonists, and all their improbable sentimental dramas, marriages and divorces, love triangles of all kinds, fathers who were not real fathers. Evidently, something was missing in the rigidity of her religion, and she found it in The Guiding Light. With the soap opera in the background, we would talk all afternoon about deep topics: God, history. She was a girl during World War II, and she would tell me a lot of stories. We talked about our family, the purpose of life, interrupted at times by the latest twist of the TV drama, one character exclaiming suddenly, "I'm not your real mother," or sister, or whatever. I must have taken something from her because I ended up studying philosophy in college, disappointing my parents. "You should have studied law and medicine," they would say repeatedly. In my view, they should have been happy, because at least I chose philosophy and not the guiding light. It could have been much worse. I mean, at least I've studied something. What do you call this energy? The memories, the thoughts, the emotions that surround the departed loved one? Is it just brain electricity bubbling up as visuals? Or are they fragments of another dimension? With my background in philosophy, the idea of a supernatural dimension of love immediately makes me think about Plato. Plato, an ancient philosopher and a visionary thinker, believed in another supernatural plane of reality, a dimension of goodness, beauty, and truth, which is known as Plato's famous triad. I need to show off now because my mother is for sure watching the sermon on YouTube. Plato's famous triad. Given the limits of human language, Plato would often illustrate his thoughts using narrative images. In one of the narratives, the myth of which Matthew read, he explains what happens when we die. After death, our souls join the eternal dimension of goodness. Our deeds on earth are judged. Then a prophet comes forward and presents all of the souls with a bunch of possible new lives they can reincarnate to. They choose the life they prefer. Then they drink from a river that makes them forget their past and finally return to this world in a new body. It is not clear whether Plato fully embraced that ancient version of reincarnation or not. For sure, the myth suggests that what happens to us after we die is somehow tied to what happens to us before we were born. We often wonder about the hereafter, but the time before birth is also a big question mark. Where do we come from? A scientific approach would say that we come from our parents. But then Plato and my daughter would ask the next question. Where do our parents come from? From our grandparents, we could say, and these from our great-grandparents and great-great-great-grandparents, and so on until the first cell, the Big Bang, and the beginning of time, which in itself is shrouded in mystery. Where does the Big Bang come from? Personally, I know very little, but something I figured out, and that's what I will tell my daughter when the topic of death comes up again, perhaps when another tree falls in the backyard, and hopefully by then we will be less clumsy removing it. So I'll say, yes, I will die sooner than you. It is expected, and there is no way back. But my love will stay with you in another dimension, invisible but real and present. Remember the dogwood. The time of the roots is longer than the time of the tree. The time of love is longer than the time of life. Always give priority to love in your decisions if you can. Love is really the only answer to death that we know of. And if you want to remove a tree from the backyard, get a chainsaw. Thank you. So now, as per Italian tradition, we thought we could replicate the ritual of the Day of the Dead on a smaller scale here in this congregation. There is an informal altar, which you can see, with cookies, the bones of the dead, pretty true to the traditional recipe. I baked them and my daughter helped me out. Not like me with my grandma. Those who wish may come to the altar with a picture, in your phone is fine, or in your mind, if it works for you, of their departed loved ones. Take a cookie, or two, or none, and this way honor their presence in your life.
Thank you, Stefania. At this time, I invite you all to rise in body or spirit one last time to sing our closing song.
Thank you all, in person, on Zoom, for joining us in this most meaningful celebration day. And I especially want to thank Stefania for sharing with us her own personal experience in the day of today.